Hey there, all my Virgos. It's Stacy, and I'm coming to you from southern Mississippi. Um, Basically, go ahead and get your calendars out. I'm going to let you pause it real quick. We've got quite a bit of stuff going on this month. First off, we start the whole month off with the full moon in Aries on the 1st, and we also have Venus moving into Virgo on the 3rd. We have a Mercury retrograde, which has already started, and Pluto is going to go direct on the 5th. Jupiter and Neptune are going to help a little bit with some good energies from the 2nd until the 19th. There's also going to be a new moon in Libra on the 16th. So there's going to be the sun moving into Mercury on the 25th. And it's going to make you feel a little bit odd, a little bit strange, but that's just in time for Halloween. And the full moon on October 31st is going to be in my fellow Earth sign, Taurus, which is wonderful. So there you go. Are y'all ready for this? So let's just go over some of the things. Mars is still retrograde, and Saturn is still retrograde. Nope. I'm sorry, it is not. It is out of retrograde as of September 29th, thank goodness. So that's good. And then we also have Mercury retrograde, which is going to cause a lot of issues with communication. Just make sure that you're really listening to what people are saying before you react. And, there may be like workplace delays. Try to keep your calm and stay cool. And, this could cause issues with travel, contracts. A lot of people say don't sign anything while Mercury is retrograde because you're not in your right mind. You might just feel a little bit depressed, or you might jump into something that, based on your current mood, which probably isn't the best. And you definitely don't want to do that if your intentions aren't in the right place. So a lot of people say, if you're having rough times, it could just be Mercury retrograde. I know there have been times when I was alone during retrograde, especially Mercury retrograde, where I just felt like my whole world was caving in, and there was not really that much wrong with me. Nothing was really that wrong. I was just, alone, and for some reason it drove me crazy. And being that the pandemic has had us all alone for a long time, forcibly, we all might be feeling like just, gallivanting, leaving the state. Just know that if you're traveling, you could have some issues. All right. GPS, okay, GPS always goes crazy with or without Mercury retrograde. So the best thing to do is download the maps before you leave. Then you don't have to worry about whether or not you have a connection when you get in the middle of the cornfields. Okay? Especially this time of year. Alright? It says double check your work schedule, double check your calendar days. Just watch out because you already have Mars in retrograde, which is causing all kinds of issues in your intimate matters, finances, aggression, uncertainty, temper tantrums. You've got Pluto in retrograde for another couple days, which is going to make you feel just like you have to reflect, like you're trying to figure out what's going to happen in your life. You might need some kind of mental release to overcome this. You still have time for that serious self-analysis that I've been talking about for the entire time that Pluto's been retrograde. It's also important to connect with your shadow self And let's see. That's about it for the major changes that we've going on this month. And so I've already pulled the cards, and it's showing under what crosses you the Judgment card. And I don't remember if it was Virgo that had this last time I did a reading, but I've definitely been getting the Judgment card a lot. But you know, I guess that's just part of life. You're always going to have somebody judging you and causing you some kind of havoc. So, you know, we just go with the flow and see what we can do to get things back on track. So the Judgment card is, you know, I feel like whether or not it's something that you did or that someone else has done, judgment can be put down upon you based on the people that you're around, the family that you have, so many different things. But you can't let that get you down, all right? You have to keep looking forward and, you know, do what you can do to make it better. But pretty much it's showing here that, you know, the Judgment has come up, but sometimes the Judgment card is a good thing, because it can also mean that, you know, you're going to get your chance in front of the judge. You're going to get your chance to state whatever it is that's bothering you and whatever's been plaguing you. So for this particular deck, we've got, I'm going to show you the card. It's kind of rough looking. So it looks like some folks are being tortured pretty bad. Okay, that's what it looks like, just in case you couldn't see that. So according to this card deck that I have, the Fairy Tarot, it says, a grain of wheat is reaped in silence. The teacher gives knowledge, the student through meditation receives what is given, and by the inner understanding transmutes knowledge into wisdom. What was true is forever the truth, but knowledge manifests in different ways in the course of cycles. Look into the past and you will know the future. For the future lies buried in the past, and the past, through action in the present, brings about future. So many times people will try to warn you about the stupid things that you're doing. They'll try to tell you, hey, you know, when I was your age, I made that mistake. And of course, we all have to, most of us have to learn it for ourselves. But, you know, if it's something serious, it's a good idea to listen. All right, and then we have the Law of Rhythm, which is going with the Judgment card under what crosses you. This is my own personal Hermetic deck that I made, and it says rhythm compromises. All right, so we all know rhythm is a dancer. No, I'm just kidding. Rhythm is like, basically, if you have two different instruments playing together, you know, sometimes they can complement each other, and sometimes it's just a headache. So, you know, whatever your rhythm is, you know, make sure that you're in rhythm with the other people around you, especially during Mercury retrograde. Okay, so you might think that you know what your fellow teammate is telling you, but if you're not 100% certain, then double check yourself. All right. In your immediate future, we've got the Six of Damen, which is, let me look. Six of Damen in this deck stands for Pentacles. Give me just 1 second, y'all. So I'm getting used to these decks a little better, but I still like to just double check myself, because I have been called out. But let's just be real. Everyone, reads cards differently, and I really just, especially when I'm dealing with my own signs, I like to make sure that I'm not being biased. I just look at the darn book and make sure that we're not being biased here. So for the Six of Damen, it says material wealth. All right. Charity comes, gifts, material gain, help from someone. This card warns against excessive expenditure of resources. Only balance brings regrowth. Only heart, body, soul combined shows us the way. Seven of Damen. Oh, that's it. Only heart, body, soul combined shows us the way. So materialism is not the answer, people. I know that our country is a little bent on material possessions and things right now because half of us are unemployed, including myself. But you have to realize that money is not going to buy you happiness. As a matter of fact, sometimes when you do have all the money that you ever wanted, it's even more heartbreaking when you realize that it's not going to make you happy. Especially if you're mourning the loss of a loved one or something of that nature. There's no amount of money. I mean, and me, I'm an emotional eater, so of course I could very well say, well, yes, it does. As I turn into, someone who can't even control themselves. But let's look on. We've got in your immediate future, the law of frequency. All right, so the law of frequency. Frequency is a funny thing. I immediately think of the science behind frequency, but that is not exactly what this is talking about. Frequency is, it's like when you put electricity through water and it sends out, or if you just tap water and it leaves the frequency behind the volume moving through the water. Whatever you put out there is going to come back to you tenfold. All right, so make sure that this material wealth, charity, gifts, material gain, help from someone else. Sometimes just because someone offers to help you doesn't mean that they aren't going to want something in return. And as a matter of fact, if you ask for something, you should always be prepared to pay someone back. Because if you're not, then you might be caught off guard when they come a-calling. All right? So anytime someone helps me out, I try to help them out. Definitely. I don't ever take anyone for granted or take advantage of anyone. I try not to. I try to make sure that things are level and even, and that's a good rule of thumb. All right, so the truth revealed. All right, let's see. The truth revealed is the Four of Air, which air are swords, and the Four of Air is representing hold on just one sec. Okay, so the Four of Air, the first attention in insights generated by seclusion, being alone. Prophetic powers, time to draw a truce. Rest and relaxation required to bring about peace of mind. Meditation would be beneficial at this time. The true power of the sword of illumination is not in its sharpness. It is in the straightness which points to the mark. Let's take a look. All right, so don't get caught up in the little details and miss the big point, okay? And along with that, we have the law of cause and effect, causation. This is very similar to the last couple cards we had. Cause and effect. Whatever you do is going to have an effect. If you think that there's not going to be any repercussions to whatever it is that you're doing, just be aware that there probably will be. Whether it be positive or negative, you need to be prepared for that. And the last card is your final outcome, which is the Six of Tyne. All right. And tonight, the Six of Tyne is the power of the heart, glory, victory, and triumph, a personal or vicarious experience of adulation and fame, a sense of victory, with all adversaries conquered and all blockages overcome. But the triumph will eventually come to an end. Glory will shift to some different meaning, perhaps less glorious and more perilous. Stand strong, speak strong, dance strong, act strong, rest strong, see strong, play strong, work strong, love strong, believe strong, powerful, and end. All right, so basically what this is saying right here is glory will shift to some different meaning, perhaps less glorious and more perilous. So, in other words, the more and more and more people that, see you and, want to have something to do with you, the more chances that you're going to offend someone or hurt someone's feelings or do something that offends someone. And this is just something, it doesn't matter what you are doing or who you're talking to. There's a good chance that someone is going to be offended or hurt by what you're doing, even if you have the best intentions at heart. So you always want to go out of your way to make sure that whatever you are saying is truthful. And then, at least that you did your homework and, you made sure that the things that you were saying were right and true. And then, that's the best that you can do, okay? And with this one, with this card, it gives you the law of the wise. So, I really need to do some more research and find out just exactly what the law of the wise is. But I want to say that no matter what, you do, wisdom comes from not assuming, not judging, not jealousy, not hate and anger, but just from taking in whatever's around you. And, if someone that you desperately love doesn't agree with you, it's not the end of the world, okay? It's not the end of your relationship. It's not the end of anything, it's just something that has happened, and the only thing you can do is move forward with it, okay? And so I grab my oracle deck. Here's the top card, acceptance. So I didn't shuffle them yet, but that's a pretty good card right there for this spread. Sometimes you have to accept, what comes at you, even if you don't really want to, even if you disagree with it. Everybody feels the way they do, probably because of bias that they have, something that's happened to them that makes them feel a certain way, but everyone has different, opinions, different experiences, and that's going to cause all of us to feel differently. All right, so immediate future, we have get that map and calendar. Plan your escape. Okay. Somebody needs a new adventure. I know I do. That's in my immediate future, too. Okay. So I'm just going to mark that X on the map and we are going to go on a scavenger hunt. Truth revealed. Holy One. The Holy One. Alright, and this one come under the Four of Air and the cause and effect. Causation. Alright. The Holy One. Alright, so that one was about materialism, remember? And the only thing I can say about that is the Lord does not approve of materialism. And, whatever actions you're taking, make sure that you have your right state of mind for whatever you believe in. Your Holy One might not be God. You might be an atheist. But holy is something that's important to you, something that you take for great, knowledge, power, whatever it is. That is going to be what's ruling you. If you do believe in God, then that's what, this is talking about. All right? If not, then you can apply it to whatever is important in your life. The final outcome is with the Six of Tyne and the Law of the Wise. And it says, be a team player. Be a team player. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to pull three more cards. Rejuvenation. Money. 12-sided die. 12-sided die. Okay? Whatever that means to you, I'm just going to let it fly. Okay? So maybe you're a geek and the 12-sided die is meaning something about Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe you haven't played in a while. Who knows what it might mean to you. But I think I was trying to make this card deck and I started listening to Weezer. Probably. Or something of that nature. But inspiration has always come to me through music, and we've got the card of rhythm, the card of frequency. If you're suffering from cancer or if you're suffering from a disease, you've got to cut the negativity out of your life. You've got to put positive music on. Maybe that raging against the machine isn't what you need 24/7. Sometimes you have to rejuvenate your soul, even though we all need to stand up against the man sometimes. On other days, it's okay to get a hot bath and rejuvenate yourself. Okay, so with that being said, let me see, Scorpios. I just wanted to say something for all my Scorpios out there right now, because, what was it? Let me see what day. Okay, so the moon goes into Scorpio on the 14th, and, you've got Mercury retrograde, and you've got Mars retrograde at the same time during your birthday month. So, you Scorpios, just hold on to those reins. It's going to be okay, alright? And, with your Virgos, you are going to be in the Virgos. The reason I mentioned that on my, Virgo reading is because it's October. All right. And one more thing for my Virgos. Don't forget that Venus is in Virgo on the 3rd, so it's going to heat up your love life. Yay! All right. So happy, you know, harvest moon, and I hope that this resonated with all of you. If it did, please like and subscribe and share. And you have a blessed harvest moon.